Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation today is from Gujri Mahalla Panjwa, a continuation, except that now the rag is still Gujri, but the beat is Kar Chautha, indicating another specific beat in which this is to be sung, and also that this is a chaupada, meaning it has 4 lines, 4 verses. The recitation first and then the reflection. Gujri Mahalla Panjama Kar Chautha Chaupade Ek Oankar Satgur Prasad. Shad Sagal Sianapa साध सरणी आओ, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वरो प्रभु के गुण गाओ। रे चित चरण कमल आराधि, सर्ब सुख कल्याण पावै, मिटे सगल उपाधि रहाओ। मात पिता सुत मीत भाई, तिस बिना नहीं कोए, ईत ऊत जी नाल संगी, सरब रव्या सोए। कोट जतन्यो पाव मिथ्या, कछ न आवे काम, शरण साधु निर्मला, गत होए प्रभ कै नाम। अगम दयाल प्रभु ऊंचा, शरण साधु जोग, तिस प्राप्त नानका, जिस लिखिया तुर संजोग। अगम दयाल प्रभु ऊंचा, शरण साधु जोग, तिस प्राप्त नानका, तिस लिखिया तुर संजोग. The pause and the reflection for us is Re Chit Charan Kamal Arad, Sarab Sukh Kalyan Pave Mite Sagal Upadhi. Upad. Upad is mental afflictions, the troubles, the illusions of the mind that limit it. False identities, delusions, things of that nature, things that are part of our everyday consciousness. We are very good at self-deception. So this sort of consciousness that we carry with us is obscuring. It obscures reality for what it is. So Re Chit, this is an invocation to the mind. Worship the lotus feet of wisdom, Charan Kamal Arad. If there is something worth worshipping, it is wisdom that is innate to you, and it is usually referred to as Charan Kamal, the lotus feet, because the lotus, as you know, symbolizes spiritual enlightenment. In the Indian culture, it has that significance. And so therefore, figuratively speaking, the lotus feet of the Guru are the teachings of the Guru that are enlightening. So the advice to us is Charan Kamal Arad. Acquire that wisdom. And then what you will find is that all afflictions of the mind will disappear. Mite Sagal Upad. And once that happens, you will discover the wellspring of happiness. Sarab Sukha Kalyan Pave. So if you wish to live a fulfilled life, then you have to find this connection with that innate wisdom within you. It's not physical, obviously. It's psychic, it's mystical. And it involves other modes of knowing, especially the development of intuition. Because Gurmat regards intuition to be superior. This is a kind of an inner perception, a direct knowing, not dependent on conscious logic. It is a deeper state of consciousness, if you will. That is where Gurmat is trying, in that direction, it's trying to push us. Because if you look at the first verse, That is exactly the point it emphasizes. It says, Shad Sagal Sianapa, Sad Sarani Yao. Shad Sagal Sianapa. Sianapa, mental games, conceptualization, cognitive knowledge, discursive. Chard, abandon it. Instead, Sad Sarani Yao, seek refuge in perfect knowledge of the perfect being, meaning wisdom. Glorify, it says, that transcendent and first being, Par Brahm Parameswara, because it is that which is the indwelling controller. And you glorify it by embodying its virtue. Gunagao. Par Brahm Parameswara, Prabhu ke Gunagao. So come, seek refuge, seek the guidance of an enlightened source in order to glorify the transcendent being that is within you, that is, the essence is within you. So you have to go to an enlightened source, whether embodied, whether textual, whether congregational, so that you can understand how to reach across to this essence, because it's not physical. Prabhu ke gun gao, glorification, praise, emulation, hence embodying virtue. And because the self is not accessible to the physical senses, no amount of cognitive thinking, Sagal Sianapa, will make the connection. And the method is the gur, and that comes from an enlightened source. Going down further, the emphasis is Mata Pita Sut Meet Pai Tis Bina Nahi Koe Eat Ut Ji Nal Sangi Sarb Ravya Soe. Other than the one, the self, no one else, whether it is mother, father, offspring, friends, siblings, nobody is ever present with you all the time and cannot be present with you all the time, except that one which pervades everywhere and everything. So when you make the intuitive connection with that essence, then you realize that even the most intimate relationships are transient, and for that reason cannot be real, in a metaphysical sense, that is. They're not eternal or all-encompassing. And the only such relationship is with the self, with one's own essence. That is the fountainhead of wisdom. That is where we need to get at. Kot jatan upav mithya kachna ave kam. Again, the emphasis is first was Sagal Sianapa chod, which is give up these methods. But now the Guru is saying all efforts and methods are futile. Why? Why Sagal Sianapa chod? Because they are futile. They do not bear fruit. Kot jatan upav mithya kachna ave kam. Because they don't purify the mind. Sarana sadhu nirmala gati hoye prabh ke naam. Because all other methods, all strategies in the material realm are fruitless because they are based on worldly desires and actions. There's always a transaction at the other end. And you need to purify the heart, transcend the ego, in other words, in order to achieve or self-realization, which is the indwelling prabh, which is the pivot from which you need to look at the world, which is the real thing. The conclusion, the controller, the master controller, the prabhu, is compassionate and exalted. Agamadayal prabhu ucha, but inaccessible to the senses, agam. And to achieve union, which is called jog here, this is parapata nanaka, jis likhya tur sanjog. So if you want to find jog, then sarana sadhu. To achieve union, seek the refuge of the sadhu, the enlightened being. And such a union is achieved by those, this parapat nanaka, who are so favored by providence, that is to say, who script their lives in accordance with good wisdom. Just likhe to sanjog. So you see, good wisdom is the key to self-knowledge. And self-knowledge is self-realization of the true nature of your being in this world. And therefore, it will give you the right perspective to live life. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.